Hello, I'm Archie Luxury. Welcome to the Archie Luxury channel. And today I want to talk about selling very expensive wristwatches. And I'm talking about pieces 5,000 US and above. And I got to tell you, I've recently, I was feeling out for my, my world time. I was looking at selling it. And one big obstacle that is there is how do you sell it? Because someone buys it and you got to safely ship it. And are you going to ship a $25,000 watch by FedEx? Just asking for trouble. And even, you know, I recently was helping a friend of mine sell his Deep Sea. That's a 10,000 Aussie dollar watch, 10,000 plus. Ooh, it's getting dear. So you've got to be careful. And you know, you know, the way I look at it is, look, a couple thousand, you can take the punt. If it goes, well, what's the cost of doing business? You'd have to wear that on the chin with the buyer. But $25,000 watch, you cannot ship it FedEx or DHL or UPS. You've got to be so damn careful. I mean, anything over the $5,000 mark, it becomes a magnet for thieves. And it's a very tricky thing. I think you've got to hand deliver it. And I recently had a guy who was wanting me to promote. He had a Patek Philippe 5107, Mr. Patek. And he's in Qatar, Q-A-T-A-R, Qatar, which if you've been to Saudi Arabia, I don't think they'll let you in to Qatar. It's a bit weird, this Middle Eastern politics that goes on there. Great airline. Qatar's got a great airline, but I gotta tell you, he doesn't take PayPal, which I can understand. He's trying to sell a 5107, but I don't know whether you'd have to deliver the damn thing. How would you ship it? Unless your buyer was in Qatar, how would you ship this damn thing? And this is the problem. These really expensive, big watches like that, like a Patek 5107 Calatrava, ooh, do you really want to ship it FedEx? Is that the answer? And it really worries me. It really worries me on how would you make sure it wasn't just stolen? How do you ensure that? And that's a tricky thing. It is hard to verify that something doesn't go missing. And I kind of think, you know, when I was selling high-end pieces, I always hand delivered them. I had the annual calendar. I sold that. That was sold within my own country, so that was just a matter of flying down to a different state. That wasn't terrible. My Calatrava, I sold that to a guy in Singapore, and I said to him point blank, I didn't know it was for real. You know, you never, when you're selling these type of watches, you get a lot of tire kickers galore. And I said to him, I said, hey, I want a 10% deposit, and then we can meet. And I was sort of thinking, if he's going to rip me off, he's unlikely to want to pay the deposit. So, and I wasn't prepared to take the watch out of the country if I don't have a definite sale. And sure enough, he was legit. He was legit. He was legit. I sold my 5107. Really loved that watch. Really loved that watch. And I got to tell you, that was a really cool piece, which I adored. But hand delivered. I hand delivered. It just so happened I already had a ticket to Singapore. Can you believe that? And a week later, 2 weeks later, I was there and we did the deal. He paid me, and it was all, it was all cool. No problems with that at all. So you really have to be so damn careful, because these type of watches, you know, if it goes missing, how would you handle that? And I wouldn't handle it well at all. I can give you the drum. I would not handle it well at all. And even when I'm selling a watch for a friend, you know, a gold sub, you'd want to hand deliver that. You wouldn't want to send that. You wouldn't want to be without that. It'd have to be with you. So you've got to be so damn careful. Watches are just such saleable. They're wanted. They're really wanted type items. And I suppose it gets to a point. What is your risk adversity? How much would you be prepared to, what sort of risk financial terms would you say, oh, that's okay, I don't mind taking the punt? Or would you say, hey, no, I'm not going to send it? For me, over 5,000 Aussie starts to get a bit scary. 10,000 Aussie, especially if it's new sports Rolex. Oh, that's really, really asking for trouble. And I mean, Patek. Every high-end Patek, I've always, I've hand-delivered. And that's why sometimes it's better. I've sold things to a local couple of dealers, because I don't have to muck around with it being stolen or shipping or this or that. You know, sometimes it can really, it's just so much easier to handle the deal. And yeah, it's a tough one. It's a very, very, very hard, tough one. And you've got to decide what is right for you, and what are you prepared to lose. So, and don't, then people say, oh, why don't you insure it? Why don't you, and you insure the bloody thing, and it kind of attracts a lot of trouble, because then you've got customs duty, which you know, you're going to get nabbed by them, which is quite, you know, on those type of watches, the buyer's going to be nabbed, so he's going to be, you know, that's just the trouble. And also, I'll tell you the truth, the mafia in America, especially the Chicago mafia, you put Rolex watch, it's going to go missing. It's going to go missing. What do you put? Horological parts, $10,000. It's a gold Rolex. Ooh, not a good thing to say there. So I really would say to you, your best thing to do is be careful. Be careful. Don't be in a rush for a sale, because sometimes these sales, we all want to sell things. We all want to get our money, turn our money over and that. But taking a huge risk is very, very dangerous. It is incredibly dangerous. So I can't stress it enough. Be careful. Be very damn careful, because if it went missing, what would you do? What would you say? It's incredibly, incredibly painful if that happened. And these sort of things do happen. Believe you me, they certainly do happen. So be careful, and just, you know, I think sometimes we're also quick to do the deal. We want it. Sometimes you got to walk away from a deal and not do it if it's dicey. And I recently I wanted to sell some of my ladies' pieces. Yeah, I was far too tied up with ladies' pieces, and the Rolex with the blue Explorer dial. I had a guy in New York, but he's got an unverified account. That means his account hasn't been verified by PayPal, which means any sniff of trouble or the card's not his or anything, they just pinch the money out of my account, and I've lost the watch and I've lost the money. So, ooh, I mean, I desperately wanted to sell the damn thing, but I didn't want to lose my principal. I can't afford to be taking risks there. So sometimes you've got to know when not to do the deal. And unfortunately, that is how it is. I think it's better to err on the side of caution than to rush in there, rush in there. So there you go. Advice on selling big pieces there. Big piece. What do you do? And my guy in Qatar, I don't know what you do. I mean, I think you should hand deliver it, because otherwise it could be stolen. And then what do you do? I'm Archie Luxury, talking the facts of life, wristwatch collecting. Tell me what you guys think of that.